Bye, bye, Miss America Pie. What a... Okay, the cloud didn't die, but it sure felt like it. December 2024. Amazon Web Services, AWS, the biggest cloud service provider in the world, the backbone of half the internet, went down. Netflix stopped working, Ring doorbots went offline, people couldn't unlock their smart locks, Roku services froze, websites crashed, and millions of people suddenly couldn't access their files in the cloud. For hours, a huge chunk of the internet just stopped. So what happened? How does the most powerful, most structured, most redundant cloud infrastructure in the world just fail? And most importantly, what happened to everyone's files? Were they gone? Were they safe? Today we're going to break down what actually happens when the cloud goes down, why it happens, and what it means for your stuff. Let's talk about the day the cloud died. Hey everyone, I'm Joe, and I'm 60 years old. I'm coming to you every Friday morning with practical tech tips for real life. You notice we've leveled up our look with some AI help. It's built from real photos of Buddy and I to keep things moving while we're in development and recovery. This is Buddy. He's my co-host, chief nap coordinator, and the only one around here who never forgets to take a break. Welcome to Life Leveled Up. All right, buddy. Last week we found out where the cloud lives. Those massive data centers with Fort Knox level security, using enough power to light up small cities. But here's the thing nobody likes to talk about. Those buildings, they fail sometimes. And when they do, chaos. Let me tell you about October 20th, 2025. It was a Monday, a normal Monday morning. People waking up, grabbing their coffee, checking their phones, and suddenly everything stopped working. Shortly after midnight Pacific Time, Amazon Web Services, AWS, started reporting increased error rates and latencies in their Northern Virginia data center. Now, for those of us who work in tech, that's code for, oh crap, something's very wrong. Duolingo stopped working, Roblox went down, Fortnite crashed. Kids across the country were devastated. No video games before school, but it got worse. Financial services like Coinbase, Robinhood, and Venmo reported disruptions. People couldn't access their money, couldn't make payments, couldn't check their accounts. ChatGPT and Perplexity, those AI chatbots everyone's been using, went offline. United Airlines had problems with their website. People trying to check in for flights, trying to book tickets, nope, down. Canva, Reddit, Flickr, all experienced issues. The Associated Press, NPR, even the New York Times, games, like Wordle, that's the one everybody's obsessed with, couldn't access them. Over 3,500 companies were affected. More than 6.3 million outage reports came from the U.S. alone. And do you know what caused all of this? A DNS issue, domain name system problems affecting DynamoDB API endpoints. For those of you not fluent in tech speak, that's like imagine the phone book for the internet got scrambled. Nothing could find where it was supposed to go. Now here's the question everyone was asking. What happened to my files? My photos, my documents, all my stuff in the cloud? Is it gone? And the answer is probably not. Your files were most likely fine. Here's the thing about how the cloud services work. When you save a file to Google Drive or OneDrive or iCloud, it doesn't just go to one computer in one data center. It gets copied multiple times to multiple locations. So when Northern Virginia AWS data center had problems, your files stored there were also stored in data centers in Oregon, in Ohio, maybe even Ireland or Singapore. The issue wasn't your files disappeared. The issue was that you couldn't get to your files. The pathways to access them were broken. It's like your stuff is safe in the vault, but the door to the vault got jammed. Your stuff is fine. You just can't open the door to get to it. But that doesn't make it any less frustrating when you're trying to access an important document and you just can't. Now here's the scary part. This isn't rare. This isn't a once-in-a-decade event. Between August 2024 and August 2025, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud together experienced more than 100 service outages. Let me say that again, more than 100 outages in 1 year. Some of them were short, just a few minutes, but some lasted hours or even days. The big ones, on July 30th, 2024, AWS had a major disruption in Northern Virginia that lasted nearly 7 hours. 7 hours where services depending on AWS Kinesis, where manages real-time data processing, were partially or completely offline. In June 2025, Google had massive outage that took down Gmail, Google Docs, Drive, Maps, and even Gemini. The outage lasted more than 7 hours and affected Google Cloud services across North America, Europe, East Asia, and Africa. Even Spotify, Snapchat, and Discord went down because they depend on Google's infrastructure. On October 29, 2025, Microsoft Azure experienced a major global outage. Microsoft 365, Outlook, Xbox Live, Copilot, all disrupted. Companies like Costco, Starbucks, and Alaska Airlines saw their customer-facing systems and internal tools temporarily interrupted. More than 30,000 outages reported were logged within the first hour. The Christmas disasters. Remember I mentioned 3 Mile Island last week? How serious the power demands are getting? Well, here's the fun fact. AWS has a history of going down during the holidays. Christmas Eve 2012, Amazon Web Services lost load balancing at a key facility. Netflix went down. People are trying to stream their holiday movies. Nope. December 7, 2021, another major AWS outage. It lasted over 7 hours and affected a wide range of services. And just recently, Christmas Eve 2025, social media was buzzing with reports of AWS crashes, though Amazon disrupted how widespread it was. But the pattern is clear. These companies are spending billions of dollars on redundant cloud billions on backups in the world, billions on redundancy. Regularly. Why do these outages keep happening? Great question, buddy. The answer is complexity. These cloud systems are massively complex. They're taking billions of lines of code, thousands of interconnected services, data centers spread across multiple continents, all talking to each other constantly. Sometimes it's a bad automated update that propagates globally before anyone realizes it's causing problems. Sometimes it's misconfigured code that engineers accidentally deploy widely. Sometimes it's human error spread by automated systems. Sometimes it's literally lightning. Yes, really. In August 2015, Google's data center in Belgium got hit by 4 lightning strikes and experienced data loss. Sometimes it's undersea cable cuts, like when cables in the Red Sea got damaged by Microsoft, had to reroute traffic through alternate paths, and sometimes it's an inverted automated key rotation. That's what hit Azure in December 2025. A security key got automatically rotated when it should have been done manually, and suddenly services across the entire Azure government cloud couldn't access authorized policies. If you're finding these systems are so complicated, do us a favor, like even the companies running them can't always predict what's going to break next. It really helps a small independent channel like ours. While you're at it, don't forget to sign up for our Thursday newsletter and check out the home site at lifelevel.com. We've got a merchandise and digital reference guides I mentioned in the links below. Now back to the tech. Now let's talk about what these outages actually cost. Not just in frustration, in actual money. In downtime, it costs average of $14,056 per minute. Per minute. An hour internet outage in the United States causes an estimated $458 million in losses. In regulated industries, data handling interruptions could lead to fines or audit failures. Globally, outages are known to cause losses exceeding $1 billion in certain cases. For regular people like us, it's not usually about money. It's about not being able to access your important documents when you need them, not being able to check your bank account, not being able to work because your entire company's software runs that cloud, not being able to entertain your kids because their games are down, not being able to stream your shows. But for businesses, it's catastrophic. One AI company CEO described entertaining panic mode. The first time it happened, they delivered daily reports to clients. When the cloud went down, they couldn't deliver anything. George Foley from ESET, Ireland, put it well, when one of the major cloud platforms goes down, it reminds everyone how interconnected modern business systems have become. Even if your own website or app isn't hosted on AWS, there's a good chance something you use from your CRM to your payment processor is. Okay, so when the cloud goes down, how long are we talking? Minutes, hours, days? A study by Cherry Servers looked at incidents from August 2024 to August 2025. Here's what they found. AWS outage averaged 1.4 hours. Google Cloud interruptions averaged 5.8 hours. Azure outages averaged 14.6 hours. Now, those averages are a bit misleading because Azure had one outage that averaged over 50 hours, which really skewed their average. Excluding that, Azure's average falls below 8 hours. But still, we're talking hours of downtime, not minutes, hours. And there's the thing, an outage doesn't mean the entire platform goes offline. In most cases, only a single service, feature, or region experiences disruption. But depending on what you're trying to do, even a narrow disruption can wreck your day. Even a 20-minute outage can mean missed trades, blocked logins, or stalled transactions, depending on the workload, according to Cherry Services. All right, so after all this doom and gloom, you're probably wondering, should I still use the cloud? Are my files actually safe? And the answer is yes, mostly. Here's the reality. Even with all these outages, your files are almost certainly safer in the cloud than they are only on your computer. Remember last week when I talked about spilling coffee on your laptop, house fires, hard drives dying? Those risks are way more likely to cost you on your files than a cloud outage. During cloud outages, your files aren't gone. They're just temporarily inaccessible, and usually they're back within hours. If your hard drive dies, your files are gone forever, unless you pay thousands of dollars for data recovery, and even then, you might only get some of them back. 50% of the data centers experience at least one impactful outage over the past 3 years. That sounds scary. But you know what? Organizations achieving 99.9% availability experience maximum of 9 hours of downtime annually. 9 hours. Out of 8,760 hours a year, that's 99.9% uptime. Your files are accessible 99.9% of the time. Your computer, if it crashes, it might be 0% uptime until you get it fixed or replaced. And here's the smart move. Some companies now use multiple cloud providers as backup strategy. They rely on AWS, Google Cloud, and maybe a third provider. During the AWS outage, they temporarily switched to Google Cloud to maintain service availability. For regular people, that's probably overkill. But the principle is sound. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. If you're really concerned about access to critical files, maybe keep important documents in both Google Drive and OneDrive, or Google Drive and a local backup on external hard drive so you keep them somewhere safe. Here's the thing that keeps me up at night sometimes. These systems are only getting more complex, not less. Remember last week when I talked about AI driving massive growth in data centers? That AI demand is pushing these cloud platforms to their limits. AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud all reported strong AI-fueled revenue growth in 2025, but also acknowledged capacity ceilings due to hardware shortfalls and power limitations. They're building as fast as they can, but they're running into physical limits. Not enough power, not enough hardware, not enough capacity. And the more they build, the more complex it gets. The more complex it gets, the more potential points of failure exist. Global network outages rose 33.38% from January to May 2025. That's not going down, that's going up. So what do we do about it? All right, practical advice time. Here's how to protect yourself. 1, use the cloud anyway. Despite everything I just told you, the cloud is still your best bet for keeping files safe long term. Just accept that sometimes for a few hours you might not be able to access them. 2. Keep critical files in multiple places. That's a really important document you might have for a meeting. Maybe keep a copy on your computer too, or in both Google Drive and OneDrive. The family photos you can't replace, cloud backup yes, but maybe also keep them on an external drive that you store somewhere safe. 3. Don't panic during outages. When a cloud service goes down, your files aren't gone, they're just temporarily unreachable. It's frustrating, but it's not permanent. 4. Check status pages. AWS, Google, Microsoft. They all have status pages that show when services are having problems. During an outage, check those instead of frantically trying to log in over and over. 5. Have patience. The average time to restore services is 80 minutes globally. That's not forever. It just feels like it when you're trying to get work done. So here's the big picture, buddy. The cloud isn't perfect. These massive data centers with their Fort Knox security and their nuclear power plants and their billions of dollars in infrastructure, they still fail sometimes. But they fail a lot less than your computer fails. They'll lose your data a lot less than a crashed hard drive loses your data. Outages like this highlight the importance of having resilience plans in place, including backups and alternate routes for essential data and services. As one tech expert put it, the cloud isn't magic, it's just computers and buildings run by humans with all the problems that come with that. But it's still the best system we have for keeping digital stuff safe. The day the cloud died, it really didn't die. It just took a nap, a frustrating, inconvenient nap that reminded everyone that even the biggest tech companies in the world can't guarantee 100% uptime. But 99.9%, that's pretty damn good. Next week, we're going to talk about something a lot more fun. We've covered what the cloud is, where it lives, and what happens when it fails. Next week, we're switching gears and talking about Alexa and Google. So that's next week. What's been happening with our home devices? This channel is just us. One person, one cat. Same questions you're asking, same goal. Make technology feel human again. No pressure, no hype, no talking down, and sometimes cats. We'll see you next time here on Life Leveled Up.